Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. Just as I press live, the doorbell has gone. We'll have to ignore that one for today. So today we are taking a look at the cryptocurrency markets, seeing what is happening. First of all, let's take a look at CoinMarketCap. Let me show what you can see. You can see what I'm looking at on my screen. We have Bitcoin at $22,896, and we have Ethereum at 1,637. So we've seen a nice move to the upside in the cryptocurrency markets. We have Bitcoin currently testing this crucial level of resistance. So at 22,840, we can see we have a level of resistance that we touched back in September. We are then looking at the $25,200 level, and we have some previous levels of support that could act as a resistance up at $28,000. Now, this may seem that I am being very, very optimistic, but let's take a look at the CME gaps. We talk about these a lot on the channel. I know Jordan does on his That Martini Guy channel as well. So a lot of people here understand what these are and have got their eye on them. Sorry about that. We have a CME gap down at $20,000 for Bitcoin. So this will act like a magnet for the Bitcoin price. We also have one up at $28,000. Now, these act like magnets, so we have one up here and one down here. A lot of people are now believing that we could actually fill this gap, which means we see price movements within this gap in the market. So we could see the magnet pull the price of Bitcoin all the way up to $28,000. That would be a huge move for Bitcoin, considering only a couple of days ago we were down at the $16,000 levels. But this is the volatility that we see within the cryptocurrency industry and makes us all stay to see these nice profits. And this is why it's very, very good to be involved during those downwards movements. So we have a lot of news to discuss in today's video. Let's get started on that. First of all, let's talk about yesterday's CME gap first. Looking at yesterday's CME gap, there really isn't much to show for it. I wouldn't really call it a CME gap. The wick of the candle on Friday touched 22,535. Today we opened at 22,600. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. To find this CME chart, a lot of people struggle. It's really hard to find this if you're on TradingView, but if you just Google Bitcoin CME gap, then it will come up as like the second link that you can click on, and you can see this chart for yourself. So let's set a like goal for today's video. I forgot to do that. We are going to try and hit 50 likes in today's stream. We have quite a lot of information to discuss. We're already on 13 likes. Thank you very much to everybody who has tuned in once again and remembered to hit that like button. Before we move on to today's video, I would like to remind us all to subscribe to our newsletters here. Just go to cryptosavingexpert.com and click this little button here, put your email in, and you will be able to get access to our newsletters. They come out every single Tuesday at 11 a.m. directly to your inbox, and we have another very exciting email coming out this week. I know it's been a little bit delayed, but we're just sorting things out behind the scenes. That if you sign up now, you are in the best position to get involved in Crypto Saving Expert, get first access to the website, and also be in a major giveaway. I don't know if I've just spilt the tea. I don't know if that was known to the public, but make sure to sign up because you do get some benefits. So let's now take a look at the cryptocurrency news now anyway. We have, first of all, the Winklevoss twins threatened to sue Barry Silbert and DCG following Genesis bankruptcy. So I'm sure we all know how this works by now. DCG is the parent company of Genesis, and Gemini, which is cryptocurrency exchange by the Winklevoss twins, had an earn feature, which meant if you staked your tokens within the cryptocurrency exchange, you could earn interest. For Gemini to earn that interest, they were lending your funds to Genesis. Genesis are now filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The CEO of DCG, however, is Barry Silbert, and the Winklevoss twins have found it incredibly difficult to work with him, it seems. They've been posting open letters over on Twitter saying how they don't agree with how he's dealing with the situation and that they want him fired. So taking a look at the statements down here, now that Genesis have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, Cameron Winklevoss has highlighted that it doesn't stop Barry Silbert from being able to be charged with different things, and they can file lawsuits against him if they choose to do so. So in the Winklevosses' words, unless Barry and DCG come to their senses and make a fair offer to creditors, we will be filing a lawsuit against Barry and DCG immediately. This was in another Twitter thread, as we've said over and over again. They're very publicly having these conversations over on Twitter, so the public can see everything that's going on. Open letters were posted on Twitter, threads such as this were being posted on Twitter. So we're all seeing exactly what is unfolding as it unfolds. We're getting inside information over on there. Let's take a look at the chat now. Jason is tuning in from Australia. Reese is saying, don't forget to smash that like button. Please do remember to. On a like goal, trying to hit 50 likes by the end of today's live stream, but we have a huge amount more news, a lot of news to discuss in today's video. So let's move on to the next one. We have Genesis Global top 50 creditors are owed over $3.6 billion. So it's not just Gemini that are affected by Genesis filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. When we are seeing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, that means they're trying to restructure their business and try and find a way to pay back their creditors. So it's not necessarily a very bad thing for Gemini. They may find a way to repay those debts, but they have over $3.6 billion to try and cover. So taking a look at this, Gemini is the biggest with $765.9 million lent to Genesis. And then we have a huge list of different companies. For example, the investment arm of Bybit, which invested in BitDAO and Amuka Brands and more with $151.56 million. And the list goes on and on. So Genesis is announced its Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing earlier at the end of last week, and the co-founder and president of the Gemini cryptocurrency exchange called the move a crucial step towards recovering the crypto exchange's customer assets tied to the crypto lender. He, however, added that the bankruptcy did not insulate digital DCG and Barry Silbert and other wrongdoers from accountability. And we've just covered that in the previous article, so we can move on from this now. This isn't necessarily a bad thing for Gemini users, though, and those that had staked their tokens in the Gemini Earn function. It could be a step in the right direction. So we are seeing movements, but $3.8 billion is a huge, huge amount, with Gemini being the top of the list for their creditors. Moving on to the next article now, we have Phantom launches the Ecosystem Vault, a decentralized funding system. So they are now creating a mechanism that incentivizes developers to build on the platform. It's an on-chain fund sponsored by 10% of the transaction fees on Phantom and managed by the community as part of Phantom's ongoing evolution towards decentralization. The initiative was made possible by lowering the Phantom burn rate and rerouting the resulting 10% to the vault. So this will, let's see where this says in the article, it offers projects an excellent chance to obtain funding as they work to create creative dApps on Phantom. Additionally, Phantom Foundation sees this as an opportunity for the Phantom community to unite and influence the platform's future through its financing selections. So seeing more and more development and incentives to develop on the Phantom blockchain. Moving on from this article now, let's see what's going on here. Former FTX US head raises $5 million, taps Coinbase and Circle for new crypto startup. So this is Brett Harrison. Now he's the former president of the American affiliate of bankrupt crypto exchange FTX. And it is believed that the wrongdoings that occurred within FTX were in FTX and not FTX.US, and they are separate entities. And it's also believed that Brett Harrison left before realizing what was really happening here. So he's not really seen as a bad guy in the cryptocurrency space. But according to a Bloomberg report, the investment round was led by several venture capital firms, including Coinbase Ventures, Circle Ventures, SV Angel, Motive VC, and Skybridge Capital founder Anthony Scaramucci. The new firm, Architect, aims to build trading software to streamline the crypto market structure, making it easier for institutional investors to access centralized and decentralized markets. And Brett Harrison has said, I'm grateful to our partners who've shown me that they believe above all the resilience in this industry. Architect is fortunate to draw upon their wide-ranging expertise, which spans all areas of the digital asset landscape, as well as traditional finance and trading. And he hopes the new firm will strengthen investors' confidence in the cryptocurrency industry as scandals from the previous year have visibly shaken their trust. So we are still seeing people build within this bear market. I wonder how many of us, comment in the chat below, do you think we're in a bear market or a bull market now? Because lots of people have tipped incredibly bullish. But as we were saying at the top of, I know we didn't have this YouTube channel at the time, but as I was saying at the top of the bull market, when it was turning into the bear market, you can only really declare a bear market or a bull market in hindsight. So at the moment, we're just in this awkward in-between phase where people are arguing either whether we're going to go lower, whether we're going to go higher. In my personal opinion, obviously nothing is financial advice. Still quoting $10,000 Bitcoin is a bit bizarre considering FTX went bankrupt and we didn't even get close to that level. We may see some more downwards movement. Bitcoin is inherently volatile. But I personally don't believe we'll hit $10,000. But honestly, you never know. And that is why I personally, with my own portfolio, take on the strategy of dollar cost averaging in the lows and taking profits during the highs. So obviously, when I was dollar cost averaging down at those $16,000, $17,000 levels for Bitcoin, they are all in nice profits now, and I can take some profits from those. I would also like to highlight, though, that taking profits doesn't mean selling 100% of your portfolio. You can just skim off some profits every now and then as the market starts to move up nicely. So moving on to the next article, though, we have Binance-backed Marsbit crypto news site is interested in buying Coindesk. The possibility of DCG's Coindesk crypto news outlet being up for sale has caught the attention of Marsbit's CEO, Wang Feng. Marsbit is a Chinese news outlet owned by Mr. Feng, with the popular exchanges of Binance, Huobi, and OKX being investors. So we've seen a bit of interest over this over the last couple of days. We saw Cardano's Charles Hoskinson, so the CEO of the co-founder of Cardano, and he co-founded Ethereum back in the day with Vitalik as well, was looking at invest and purchasing Coindesk. He was saying that its value is looking to be around $200 million. He said this was slightly overvalued, well, incredibly overvalued. He was looking at how much the company was sold for a couple of years ago and how much revenue they create. And he didn't really understand how they'd come to this valuation, but they have come to this valuation. And valuations can be pretty crazy in cryptocurrency with no real explanation. But now we're looking at another investor, Marsbit's CEO. So it'll be interesting to see who purchases Coinbase. The rumor of it being up for sale is because it's owned by DCG. Going back to the Genesis Gemini story, DCG may be looking to sell some of their assets right now. Obviously, they are the parent company to Genesis. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. But if you want the most reliable cryptocurrency news, you should be checking out cryptosavingexpert.com. We put out more news every single day. I also wanted to mention in today's video that we also have news over on our Instagram and on our Twitter that we post if you want some short form cryptocurrency news just to quickly keep up to date with what's happening. Obviously, we do our long format over on medium.com right now. You can subscribe over there on there as well. But we will be moving over to the official Crypto Saving Expert site very soon, where you can stay up to date with exactly what is going on and make sure to sign up there as well. We've already been through all this, so I'll just keep that short and sweet. Let's check how many likes we are on now. We are currently on a mission to get to 50 likes in today's stream. We are currently on 29, so please make sure to continue pressing like and subscribe and pressing the bell notification button to help us get to that 100,000 subscriber goal by the end of 2023. 2023 is our year. We are going to grow this channel so much, hopefully, doing these live streams every single day at approximately 11 a.m. with the latest cryptocurrency news so that we can all keep up to date with the markets. The next article we have today is Bitcoin zooms past $23,000 as traders classified Genesis's bankruptcy as a non-event. So I do believe this. When Genesis first announced that they were filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, first of all, it had been rumored for a while. And second of all, it was kind of already priced in my opinion. We didn't see an effect of this news coming into the market. Obviously, we always see this thing of buy the news, sell the buy the rumor, sell the news. But we really didn't see much of an effect from this. It was a long time coming. We'd seen loads of issues between Gemini and Genesis, and they weren't able to pay back those funds. So it was already priced in my opinion. And obviously, we didn't see the effect. So it must have been, or people just completely didn't care. Moving on to the next article, we see US SEC charges Mango Markets attacker with price manipulation of a security. So we can see in the body of this article. The regulatory body is charging him with violating anti-fraud and market manipulation provisions of the securities laws and seeks permanent injunctive relief, a conduct-based injunction, disgorgement and prejudgment interest, and civil penalties. Do you know what I've realised on these live streams? I really struggle to say the words out, and I think it would be better if I just wore my glasses. I realised that about 3 minutes to 11 this morning. So maybe we'll try that tomorrow. Einstein engaged in a market manipulation scheme to steal $116 million worth of crypto assets from the Mango Markets platform. He did so while still living in Puerto Rico. The market manipulation of the Mango token involved selling a large number of perpetual contracts of Mango and using a separate account on Mango Markets to buy the same perpetual futures. He then engaged in a series of large purchases of Mango, which had a thin order book, thus artificially raising the price of the token relative to its base pair of USDC. He is now awaiting transport to NY and faces parallel charges from the Department of Justice and the CFTC. So seeing repercussions for people, that bad actors within the cryptocurrency space. We're seeing more and more of this in recent months, and hopefully it continues so that we can filter out those people that are causing harm to the industry. And we're seeing huge repercussions for people now, which is better. Still not, we're not seeing consistent repercussions. It seems to be a bit all over the place, but repercussions for some bad actors in the space is coming. So we are seeing a little bit of positivity there. Moving on to the next article, let's see what we have here. NFT sales increased by 67.5% in 2022. So we're seeing adoption of the cryptocurrency industry in 2022. I have been talking over a couple of live streams about the adoption of Web3 and how we can get people from Web2 to Web3 and NFTs. Although I'm not particularly a huge fan of those that don't have utility, they are onboarding a lot of people from Web2 to Web3 pretty nicely. And that is something I am a fan of. If we can get people into the cryptocurrency space, then I am on board. And NFTs seem to be doing a huge portion of that. Although a lot of people that buy NFTs may not even understand the blockchain or what they are, just buying an NFT is incentivizing people to do a little bit more research in the cryptocurrency space. So I am a fan of NFTs purely for that reason, and also some do have utility as well. But most of the time, those that have made a lot from NFTs are just getting lucky, I believe. I don't like to say that, and I don't say that lightly, because it infuriates me when people say you've got lucky if you've made money from Bitcoin, because we're in here during the hard times. If you stuck around on 2022 in the hard times where the markets have fell and fell and fell, you deserve for the markets to go up. You're not lucky in 2023 and 2024 if the markets make that nice move to the upside that is predicted. We deserve it at that point. Moving on to the next article, Binance banking partner Signature Bank sets Swift transfer limit to $100,000. Binance said one of its banking partners, confirmed to be Signature Bank, is setting the transaction limit to $100,000 beginning the 1st of February 2023. And as such, Binance users serviced by Signature will no longer be able to process, purchase, or sell cryptocurrencies worth over $100,000 via Swift payment. So Binance emailed this notification out to their users, and while the restriction may affect only the 0.01% average monthly users serviced by Signature Bank, Binance mentioned that they are actively seeking a new Swift partner to avoid any interruption of service. In any case, Binance said users' accounts and other functions of the exchange would operate as usual. So obviously this isn't going to affect the vast majority of us, but it's not very positive for Binance. Obviously, it's not going to have an effect on the market or anything like that. Just something to take note of. Moving on to what we want to discuss today, I've just closed it down. We are taking a look at the where was I? Over here. We're expected to see. I should have introduced this article in any way, shape, or form, but I didn't. We are looking at the Ripple CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, say that he believes the SEC lawsuit is drawing to a close. He said, "We expect a decision from a judge certainly in 2023. You don't really have a control over when a judge makes their decisions, but I'm optimistic that sometimes in the coming single-digit months, we'll have closure there." And he said this within an interview with CNBC at the WEF meeting in Davos regarding their case with the SEC. So I was just like to highlight that for us. It could be huge for the cryptocurrency industry if XRP come out on top for this lawsuit. We could see a huge move to the upside for the entire industry. This is setting a precedent for the rest of the cryptocurrency industry as well. So it'd be very exciting to see that lawsuit come to an end and see XRP on top. And also that is why I pulled up the Instagram to show that if you want short form news content and keeping up to date with cryptocurrency on the go, then check out our Instagram, cryptosavingexpert.com. I've even made a little banner that we can add up on here so you can see the title. Make sure to follow us on there. Also over on Twitter as well, CryptoSavingX, to stay up to date with the latest news. We have one final article. Oh no, we have this article, which is the same news basically. But that is really all of the news for today's video. I haven't tripped over my words as much as I normally do, so I'd say that's a win for me. Taking a look at how many likes we are currently on. We are currently on, I believe, my computer is saying 35 likes for today's live stream. Please, let's do some more Bitcoin news before we wrap up today's video. We have currently, we are at the $22,836 level of resistance. This is on the daily chart, and we have this level of resistance from back in September. And you can see here, we currently haven't broken through that on the daily chart. To have a breakthrough, I personally like to see a candle close above that level of resistance. So I'd like to see the daily candle close above where it is now. If we see a daily candle close above the $32,000 level, then I'd say that level is definitely broken through, and we could continue to see some nice upwards movement. And when we see nice upwards movement for Bitcoin, we tend to see nice upwards movement for the rest of the cryptocurrency industry. And this upwards move is shocking. And I would just like to highlight the importance of dollar cost averaging and being trying to get rid of your fear during the downwards movements, because those that managed to buy during those incredibly bearish times when people were shouting for $10,000 are the ones that are profiting massively from this nice move to the upside. So now we have this level of resistance that we are testing. The next one we are looking at is $25,200 for Bitcoin. We obviously have that CME gap up at $28,000, and just shortly after that, we have a level of resistance. But hopefully, if we continue to use these as a ladder and continue retesting these levels and making them as turn into a support, if we see us break through this level of resistance and we manage to use it as a support, we will be incredibly, incredibly bullish. But that is all I have for today. So thank you very much for tuning in. Once again, make sure to like, subscribe, press the bell notification button, sign up to cryptosavingexpert.com, put your email into this little box. You'll receive our newsletter tomorrow, and share us with your friends. Share the channel with your friends. We are trying to grow this channel to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we need your help to do so. So please help us subscribe and share. That is all for today. I'll stop banging on. I will see you back here tomorrow at 11 a.m.